You didn't wake up tired by accident. Something tried to stop you. Before any step, there is a calling. Before any reaction, there is a call to action. Before any weariness, there is a spiritual order. Awakening doesn't begin when your eyes open. Awakening begins when the soul responds. Today you woke up with a weight that wasn't naturally present in your body, a tiredness that cannot be explained solely by sleep. Her silent pressure trying to convince you that getting up will be difficult, that moving forward will cost too much, that this day has already started late. But the word doesn't ask how you feel, it reveals who you need to be right now. Awake, awake, clothe yourself with strength. This order is not based on emotion, it's spiritual. It is not dependent on the environment. She doesn't negotiate with burnout. She doesn't expect the situation to improve. She calls upon those who are weary to rise up with awareness. She calls on those who are pressured to take a stand. She calls on those who have woken up under attack not to remain passive. Today, the biggest conflict is not external, it's internal. There is a clear attempt to keep you in a state of spiritual torpor. It makes you go through the day on autopilot, to react, but not to govern, to survive, but not to command. That is why the word says, awaken twice. Because the first awakening is physical, but the second is spiritual. Wake up from a weariness that isn't yours. He awakens from the oppression that tried to take hold in the early morning. It awakens you from the idea that you need more strength to obey. Strength does not come before obedience. It manifests itself when you decide to stand up. Clothe yourself in strength. Strength is not something you feel, it's something you assume. To clothe oneself in strength is a conscious decision to not allow the day to dictate one's spiritual state. It's about choosing to respond with alignment, not with exhaustion. It's about rejecting the narrative of defeat before the battle even begins. Today, you don't get dressed in a hurry. You dress yourself in an air of authority. You don't dress yourself in fear. You dress according to your stance. There is a strength available to you that doesn't depend on your mood. It doesn't depend on your schedule. It doesn't depend on the news you're yet to receive. This force responds to the call of awakening. When you rise up spiritually, something gets reorganized. Thoughts align. The weight begins to lose its voice. Confusion is fading. The day is not over yet. In fact, it never really started, because the day only begins when you awaken from within. Today, you don't walk in defensive mode. Today, you don't carry what wasn't meant for you. Today, you refuse to start off weak. You stand up, you coach yourself, you answer the call. And by doing that, you break the invisible cycle that tried to stop you even before you took the first step. There are times when tiredness doesn't come from what you've done, but more than you've done yet. Joshua was not weak because he was incapable. He was under pressure because there was responsibility involved, a transition, a mission that doesn't choose the perfect moment to begin, and that's exactly where order appears. Be strong and courageous. This phrase is not an emotional incentive. It is a direct command to the spirit. God doesn't say to Joshua, wait until you feel ready. It doesn't say, wait until you have all the answers. It doesn't say, wait until the fear disappears. He says, be. Strength in this context is not the absence of fear. Courage is not complete security. It's obedience in motion. Today, you can be exactly like Joshua was. Between what has been left behind and what has not yet been fully revealed. Between promise and responsibility. Between the calling and the burden of having to cross over. The tiredness that tried to accompany you today is not a sign of defeat, it's a sign of transition. Because every transition requires strength that doesn't come from comfort. It is born from a decision. Say forte, not when everything is easy, not when everything is clear, but now. Be brave. Not because the path is simple, but because retreating would be more expensive than moving forward. There is a type of burnout that comes when a person tries to burden the future with the strength of the present. And God interrupts this with a clear command. Do not carry anything that requires positioning yourself. Joshua needed to cross, and crossing always requires courage before safety. Today, the greatest battle is not external. It's an attempt to make you doubt your ability to continue. But the word does not argue with doubt. She establishes a stance. Strength is not something you accumulate, it's something you activate when you decide to obey despite the discomfort. Courage is not the absence of pressure. It's about staying strong even under pressure. Today, you are not expected to understand everything. You are called to not stop, You don't need to feel confident. You need to stay aligned. There is progress that only happens after you decide not to regress internally anymore. And it is at this point that courage manifests itself. You didn't come this far to stop now. You didn't go through what you went through to back down at this moment. You were not preserved to hide. Today, the same order echoes not as a charge, but as a support. Say forte, be brave. Not because the path is easy, but that's because you're not walking alone. There is a wear and tear that the body feels, and there is a weariness that the soul carries in silence. Not all tiredness is a sign of weakness. Some are the result of continuous resistance. To stay when it would be easier to stop. To continue when no one notices the internal cost. That's why this word is so precise. The interior is renewed day after day. Paul is not unaware of the external strain. He acknowledges that there is pressure, limits, and signs along the way. But he reveals something deeper. What sustains it is not the exterior, but the interior. You can wake up physically tired and still be spiritually preserved. The problem begins when the wear and tear tries to reach the center, when he tries to convince you that deep down he no longer has the strength. Today, that lie is put to rest. The interior doesn't depend on circumstances. He responds to renewal. And renewal is not a rare event. It's a daily process, day after day. It is not accumulated strength. It is restored strength. This means that what you spent yesterday doesn't define what you have today. What tired you out last week doesn't determine what sustains you now. What almost made you stop has no power over your inner self. There is work happening that is not visible. While the exterior faces challenges, the interior is being worked on. While the environment is putting pressure on you, something inside you is being strengthened. Wear and tear is not the end of the process. It's part of him. And the most common mistake is trying to measure spiritual health by the level of physical energy. But the word corrects this logic. The interior is being renovated, even when the body is complaining, even when the mind tries to slow down, even when the day starts off tough. Today, you don't act solely on your feelings. You are moved by what is being renewed within you. Clarity is being restored. There is a firmness being rebuilt. The balance is being adjusted. This renovation is quiet. She doesn't attract attention, but she holds up. You may not notice it immediately, but she is operating. Every decision to continue strengthens the inner self. Every choice to remain aligns the spirit. Each step taken consciously prevents exhaustion from taking control. Today, you are not defined by tiredness. You define yourself through renewal. The day doesn't require you to be invincible. He demands that you be supported, and you are. The interior is not collapsing. It is being renovated, day after day. There comes a point in the journey where the challenge is no longer just getting started. It's about continuing. The text doesn't just say, run. He says, let us run with perseverance. This reveals something essential. The road ahead is not short, and it's not lonely. There is a set route. There is a process underway, and there is a clear invitation not to abandon the path halfway through. Perseverance is not haste. It's not stubbornness either. It's consistency with awareness. Many people don't quit because they've lost faith. They stopped because they got tired of keeping up the pace. Because they tried to run while looking both ways. Because they began to measure their own progress by the progress of others. But the word calls us back to the center. Let's run. It's not a chaotic race. It's not an escape. It's an intentional step forward, with perseverance. This means accepting that some days will be easier. Others are denser. Some will demand silence, others will demand resistance. Today, the question isn't whether you're fast. It depends on whether you are consistent, because those who stay arrive. There is an invisible weight that tries to accumulate over time. Expectations were dashed, silent comparisons, unspoken exhaustion, and the text is clear. There are things that need to be left behind in order for the race to remain healthy. Not all weight is a sin, but any excess weight hinders perseverance. Today you are called upon to adjust your pace. Don't abandon the journey. You don't need to run like someone desperate. You run like someone who is determined. Perseverance doesn't require euphoria. She demands fidelity to the process, step by step, day after day, even when recognition doesn't come, even when the results seem slow, because the value isn't just in the destination, it's in the transformation along the way. Today you don't rush to prove something. You run because you were called. You don't run alone, you run supported. And even when your breath falters, perseverance keeps you moving forward. Don't stop halfway. Don't lose faith now. Don't trade consistency for momentary relief. Continue. The race is still in progress. This is not the end of a fragile story. It is the statement of someone who has gone through processes, faced pressures, and remained standing. Paul is not writing these words in a comfortable moment. He writes consciously, with maturity, with an understanding of the path that has been taken. The Lord will deliver me from all evil. It is not a statement denying reality. It's a declaration of trust built over time. Deliverance here does not mean the absence of struggles. It means preservation within them. It means not being swallowed up. Don't be led astray, not to be destroyed internally. Today you may not need everything around you to change. You need to be protected from the inside, because the greatest risk was never the one that came against you. That's what tried to get inside you. Discouragement, blame, continuous fear, exhaustion that tries to turn into giving up. And that is precisely what the Lord delivers from. He delivers from the evil that confuses the mind, from the evil that slowly erodes hope, of the evil that attempts to normalize inner detachment. Being delivered doesn't mean being spared the journey. It's about being kept whole within it. Today, this word completes the prayer cycle with balance. You woke up, you took a stand, you have been renewed, you kept running. Now you can rest assured that your life will be preserved. The Lord does not abandon us in the middle of the process. He doesn't start something only to abandon it later. He keeps what He calls. This does not eliminate surveillance, but it removes the constant fear. You don't go through the day expecting the worst. You cross with serene confidence. Evil does not govern your decisions. It doesn't determine your mood. It doesn't define the end of your story. The Lord delivers. He maintains it. He preserves. And that's not immediate. It's continuous. Today ends with this firm awareness. You are not exposed. You have not been forgotten. You are not as vulnerable as you seem. You are safe. Final prayer. Sir, today I'm not starting this day on autopilot. I present myself consciously. I acknowledge that there was pressure. I acknowledge that there was wear and tear. I acknowledge that there have been attempts to weaken it. But I also acknowledge your preservation. I awoke because I was sustained. I continued because I was strengthened. I remain because I am protected. Deliver me from the evil that tries to steal my clarity. Free me from the burden that does not belong to me. Deliver me from the weariness that threatens to turn into giving up. Keep my thoughts safe. Keep my decisions to yourself. Keep track of my steps throughout this day. May I walk with confidence. I hope I will respond with composure. May I remain aligned, even under pressure. I'm not asking for shortcuts. I request support. I'm not asking for an absence of challenges. I ask for integrity along the way. And I trust that, just as it has been so far, you will continue to deliver, preserve, and guide. Amen.